The Sopranos has many themes throughout its multiple year run, from family, violence, the decline of America, how Italian Americans are treated, and their quote loss of power. However, there is one theme that is key for the final two seasons, and that is the theme of homosexuality.
He's a fag.
And?
Now what am I supposed to do?
And this theme is key for three main characters, those being Tony, Vito and Phil. First off with Tony. Now throughout the series it's made clear, and in the later scenes, of Tony's fear of not being seen as a leader or as masculine, from fighting Bobby in order to impress Carmela, to no avail, to him being assaulted even from the first season with the hat scene. Now it's revealed to us, the audience, that Vito, one of Tony's most trustworthy, hard-working, money-earning guys, is gay due to Finn, Meadow's boyfriend, finding him and a security guard having oral sex, leading to Vito intimidating Finn in some dialogue that sounds more sexual rather than threatening.
And that sound like a racehorse pissing in there.
Now Tony eventually finds out about Vito being gay, and he's initially in denial, especially at the people making jokes at the expense of Vito.
In the back.
Yeah, that's what Vito did.
You can go.
Now it's clear from Tony's body language and tone of voice that he feels as though he is being pressured into dealing with Vito, which as we find out later, is true, due to the fact he benefits significantly from Vito due to his money earning capabilities.
Let me tell you something. Fucking Vito, through sheer hard work, turned himself into my best earner. I don't even know if I'd have the new boat without him.
And eventually, through some convenient circumstances, Finn is called into Sagittarius and reveals Vito's homosexuality, and it's clear the difference between Tony's reaction and the rest of his crew.
It was the other way around.
What?
Vito was blowing the security guard.
Son of a bitch! Catching, not pitching.
From Chris's happiness, Polly's disappointment, Tony's total denial to face the situation, so much so he gets literally up out of his seat, resulting in Tony arguing with them as they want him dead. However, he disagrees with it and needs time to think.
Sit down.
Fuck that, I'll say it again. What the fuck is there to think about?
You gonna take care of his kids?
After he's gone?
Now this theme continues for the whole of Vito's arc, in which Tony is still unsure of what to do. Now in one of the famous therapy sessions, which I've already made a video on, that scene, so I won't go into full detail, it's revealed Tony's putting up this anti-gay stance as a front to make sure his guys trust him.
Fuck, I suppose something inside me says, God bless, I salute. Who gives a shit?
On top of this as well, we see Tony says his guys are allowed to have sex in prison due to the lack of women. However, we get this piece of dialogue in which Tony is afraid that Dr. Melfi doesn't believe his straightness, so much so he questions her on it.
Just for the record, my incarceration was very short term, so I never had any need for any anal,
So this fella who's been outed, what's he saying?
You think I'm lying, don't you? About when I was in jail.
I've given you no indication I think you're lying.
And Tony continues to make excuses as to why he should and shouldn't kill Vito, even Silvio calling him out on it indirectly. And it's shown that the crew are fully on board with killing Vito.
If Vito wanted to pursue that lifestyle, he should have done so quietly.
He was, wasn't he?
Now onto Vito. Now Vito is kind of just part of the crew. In a sense, you could compare him to a character like Patsy, always there and involved, but not one of the main characters. However, once it's revealed that he was gay the whole time, he becomes much more prominent.
Watch it, buddy. You fucking watch it, cupcake.
Guys, come on, it's okay.
You think so?
Sal, please, it's a fucking joke.
Right. Sure. Say hi to your wife.
I'm serious.
Now Vito, once found out, is forced to go on their own, in which he enters a relationship with a biker. He is disowned by his crew and his wife. However, he is eventually able to meet up with Tony, in which he says he was never gay and that it was his medication that was making him gay, which Tony obviously does not believe.
When you're taking it up your fag ass.
I'm not a fag. I never was.
Excuse me?
It was the medication I was on. For my blood pressure. It fucked with my head, but I'm over that now. I could probably get a letter from my doctor.
A note from your doctor saying you don't like to suck cock?
He continues to contact Tony and is tracked down at his motel and killed. Now, Vito's fate is paralleled directly against Phil. Now, it's made clear that Phil specifically hates the fact that Vito is gay.
That faggot-ass cornholing cocksuckers like married my cousin.
And he is the one responsible for Vito's death, in which he brutally beats him to death. What's more important is the fact that throughout the show, there are tons of hints towards the fact that Phil himself is a gay man. Just take this Vito's death, in which he literally is hiding and comes out of the closet. And this fact he just seems to be very angry, suggesting he's sort of angry at his own homosexuality. Now, this is done very cleverly for dialogue hinting at Phil's homosexuality. This is just a couple of examples.
Finally, starting to grow mushrooms out my ass.
There's an image. So, Jerry filled me in on the way over?
Sure, we break some balls here tonight, but I go way back. And in light of recent humiliations, it's an honor to be joined by men. I wanted to fuck a woman, but I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
And this self-hatred is done in a very comedic scene when discussing Vito's death to Vito's wife, in which male bodybuilding is on the screen.
Dwell on. Turn that off.
Now, the series has never been scared to tackle serious subjects like this. However, this is one I think it's clearly commenting on how these guys' life choices has affected their ability to live their life freely in the sense of how they want to, and thus leaving Vito and Phil in the closet and Tony up to the viewer as to whether or not he had sex in prison. And overall, it's a very interesting part of the series, well focused and in my opinion well done, and a non-stereotyping storyline and characters about homosexuality in the mafia and how it affects them as people.